Okay, very quickly. I don't know if there's a lot to say about this chapter. It was a very solid one. It was a great one. I just wanted to go through the chapter and talk about it quickly. Yeah. So I thought it was pretty funny that the Giants, they've been keeping tabs on the Straw Hats, so they'd recognize like the new members in the future, and they just don't recognize Frankie because Frankie's just a monstrosity of a man who just does like so many different chain body modifications and changes that they literally just can't recognize him. Oh God, my allergies today. God, my eyes have been watering. My throat has been mucusy. My nose stuffed. Sorry if that comes through on camera, but yeah, no, I thought that was a very funny bit. Main two things I want to talk about. Obviously, Vegapunk's gonna unplug his lore spout. But I want to talk about Gear 5th Luffy and how it's become a thing that Gear 5th Luffy is like kind of horrific. And I'm kind of buying it now. Like, you know, there's all this Gear 5th Luffy, Sanga Nika horror art that's going around Tumblr lately. And at first I'm like, oh, like I don't really buy this. This is kind of weird. And now like this chapter specifically, I'm like, oh yeah, Gear 5th is kind of creepy. It is kind of disturbing. Especially like in the moments where it's contrasting his like laughing and like humorous and whimsical behavior with like, you know, bloody combat or tragedy happening around. But in this one, when he grabbed Kizaru and Jay Garcia and was just like, I was like, oh shit. Yeah, no, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. Yeah, I guess the main thing I'm interested in to see is what Vegapunk reveals next week. Unless we do a cutaway, of course, which is something Oda would totally fucking do. Because are we gonna get shit we already know? Are we gonna just learn about like Emu and like the slavery of Mary Joa and stuff like that? Like, are we just gonna get truths like that might cause people to rebel? Or are we gonna get like shit we don't know, like Void Century shit and stuff like that we as the readers don't know yet? Because this would be a great vehicle. Like, you've already set up the vehicle. It wouldn't be like the best vehicle. It's definitely a tell not showing storytelling message, but like it is the past, so like obviously there's got to be some tell, you know. So like it's already set up at this point, so might as well use this as a vehicle to give us shit that we don't know yet. It's very exciting in that sense. A lot of great memes coming out of it too. So I'm very interested to see what they do with this, whether it's information we already know that the people of the world don't know, or whether it's stuff that us readers don't know. So I'm very excited to see what happens next. We're really in the climax of Egghead. It seems like they're gearing toward Luffy taking on Kizaru and Jay Garcia rather than Sanji. I mean, Sanji's still there, right? If I remember. No, he ran off with Vegapunk. So yeah, I thought it was going to be Sanji, Kizaru, and Luffy and Jay Garcia, but it seems like Luffy's going to take on both. And that'd be crazy if he takes on both at the same time. It really would like immensely like shoot him up on the power rankings. As someone who is an adamant non-power scaler, I say that. But yeah, overall, very solid chapter. I don't really have any complaints. Vegapunk has died twice, but the way Vegapunk has stored his consciousness, I don't think he'll ever really die. I think like he'll always be a presence in the story through his various like bodies. Why am I blanking? Are they called Stellas? Is that what they're called? And just his like technological presence. I think he'll always kind of be around, but his main host, old like Rick guy, might die. Yeah, that's about it. Real very solid chapter. Happy boy.